On the last night of the passing year, when winter pressed hardest upon the world, a bitter cold wind swept through the narrow streets of a large, bustling city. Snowflakes scurried like frightened moths around lampposts, and icicles clung to rooftops like crystal daggers.
A very Merry Christmas to all! Cheers!
Inside their warm homes, families gathered by crackling fires, sharing laughter, songs, and the scents of roasted meats and holiday cakes. But outdoors, on the frozen cobblestones, walked a small, fragile girl with bare head and unprotected feet. Her name was Ellen, and she held in her trembling hands a bundle of matches, sticks she was meant to sell, but had not sold a single one. Her old apron was thin and torn, and her shoes, once belonging to her mother, were far too large. Earlier in the day, she had lost them while avoiding two speeding carriages. The shoes fell into the street and were carried off by passing feet. Now she walked barefoot on ice that cut like shards of flint. As evening deepened, the city's festive warmth seemed to taunt her. Glowing windows showed silhouettes of people feasting and laughing. From one house drifted the sound of a violin, from another the smell of fresh bread. Ellen's tiny stomach clenched with hunger. Snow collected on her tangled hair. Her fingers had turned nearly blue. Still she whispered, "Matches! Please, good sirs, matches for sale!" But no one stopped. Some moved past her with hurried steps. Others glanced toward her and then away, as if fearing that pity might burden them. The church bells began to toll, the final hours of the old year fading away. Could not return home. She knew what awaited her there, her father's anger. He was not a cruel man by nature, but hardship had hardened him. "I must sell the matches," she whispered.
Matches! Warm matches for the new year. Please, take one.
Though even she no longer believed she could. Night grew darker. Snow fell heavier. People hurried home for warmth, leaving the streets nearly empty. Ellen huddled in a corner between two tall houses where the biting wind could not reach her quite as fiercely. She drew her tiny feet under her apron to warm them, but her body shook uncontrollably. A single match. How warm it would feel, she thought. But she dared not. Matches were money, and money meant survival. Yet the cold wrapped around her like an icy serpent, squeezing tighter. Finally, with trembling hands, she struck one match. The flame burst forth, golden and bright. For a moment, the cold shrank away as if frightened. Elin cupped her hands around the tiny miracle, staring into the dancing light. And as the flame flickered, the wall before her disappeared, melting into warm color. She saw a great iron stove, polished and glowing red with heat. It radiated warmth that wrapped around her like her mother's arms once had. "Oh," she breathed, eyes widening. She reached out to touch the warmth, but the match sputtered and died. The stove vanished. The cold rushed back with cruel force. Elin's hand fell to her lap, empty. She lit another match. This time, the wall faded into a grand room filled with light. A table stretched before her, covered in shimmering white cloth. On it lay roasted goose, golden-skinned, steaming, fragrant, surrounded by bowls of potatoes, vegetables, and sweet puddings. As she stared, the goose lifted itself from the platter, waddled toward her with a knife and fork in its wings as if inviting her to feast. Her mouth watered, her empty belly clenched. But before she could taste so much as a crumb, the match sputtered her fingers. She gasped and dropped it. The feast vanished, leaving only the scent of smoke. Determined to chase the cold away once more, she struck a third match. Immediately, she found herself beneath the most magnificent Christmas tree she had ever seen. It towered higher than any she had glimpsed through shop windows, each branch draped with candles that glowed like tiny stars. Glass ornaments shimmered like jewels, tinsel cascaded like silver rain. At the very top, a brilliant star shone so brightly it seemed alive. Her face lit with pure wonder. Then, whoosh, the match went out. But the lights of the tree did not fade. Instead, they floated upward, rising like stars into the sky. Elin blinked. "I know those lights," she whispered. "They are the souls of people who rise toward heaven." And indeed, one light seemed to shine more brightly, more warmly than all the rest. Suddenly, tears filled her eyes.
Please. Show me something warm.
With trembling urgency, Elin struck another match. And then, oh joy, oh wonder, in the glow stood her grandmother, the only person who had ever truly loved her.
Grandmother?
Her face was radiant, her smile tender. She wore no burden of age or sadness. She was beautiful, more beautiful than she had ever appeared in life. "Grandmother," Elin cried, her heart soaring, "please take me with you. Don't leave me again." She reached forward, grabbing her grandmother's hands, soft, warm, real. But the flame of the match grew thin. "No," Elin cried, "you'll disappear. Please stay. Don't go."
No. Please don't go.
Without hesitation, she struck the whole bundle of matches, filling the night with blazing light. Flame after flame, like golden wings, surrounded her, and her grandmother did not fade. She smiled and opened her arms. "Elin, my darling child," she whispered, "I am here." The cold vanished entirely. Warmth spread through Elin, warmth deeper than any stove, any blanket, any fire. It was warmth that touched the soul. Her grandmother lifted her into her embrace. Together they rose, up above the snow-covered streets, above the rooftops, above the chimneys and bells. Higher still, beyond pain, beyond night, beyond hunger. They rose into a world where cold could never reach again.
Safely held in love's embrace, ascending to...
The next morning, as dawn painted the city in pale gold, people found Elin sitting against the wall, a faint smile on her lips. Her small form was still. Around her lay the burned-out matches, their flames long extinguished. "She must have tried to warm herself," someone murmured sadly.
She must have tried to warm herself.
Poor little girl.
All alone on New Year's Eve.
"No one should die like this," another whispered.
She's freezing cold. We have to get her inside now.
Careful, gently now. Wrap the cloak tight around her.
But none knew what her eyes had seen in her final hours. None knew the beautiful visions that had embraced her. None saw the gentle, radiant grandmother lifting the child into the heavens. For while the cold world mourned her, Elin had entered a kingdom of everlasting warmth and light, a place where love never faded, where hunger and fear were unknown, where every tear was replaced with joy. The bells of the new year rang out, echoing hope across the city. And though no one saw, A new little star glowed softly in the sky that morning, a star that looked somehow like a child's smile.